And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire on the sort of map that I was running, which was stylizing as Fontus some aliens on Mayhem mode. We're going to be picking up on round 58. We got 4 decisions awaiting us. We're now in a time of learning, much better than the old time of violence. Other archaeological efforts, we can take another roll on that. We did, of course, fail the bid. Mid-bids tend to do that. We'll get relationship boost with the leader. I don't really want mine.
Roger that.
You want merit to go up? I don't.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
You want to buy IP, except I kind of want my IP, so no.
Yes, sir. Roger that,
Expansion
sir.
quarrels. I don't actually want commerce, so we
Yes,
will
sir.
support the Elder. Archaeological effort on you.
Yes.
No success. Let's get to moving troops. And yeah, our reconnaissance is basically telling us unless we can really sneak around the side here, we're gonna have to go through the slavers to get to where we want to go. And if we're going through them, we might as well wait for the tanks to show up. Okay, so we'll do deployment like that. Again, we're sort of at risk of losing a little bit of the swamp at the end there, but I think that's fine. That'll work for me. And public troops and walking back. Probably gonna have the garrison in the capital. The big one might push to the front. Okay. Oh, actually, I might have the big one because we do want one big one probably doing the garrison duty. Might replace the little one we've got on garrison duty. Okay, what's the bottlenecks working like? Bottlenecks have resolved, although they're really close to filling back up again. Okay.
Affirmative.
Which is why a lot of the resources are actually positive, is because the resources are coming in, the backlog resources are coming in. Okay. We got 4 done with the power plants. We now can discover stuff from chemistry and engineering. Oh, and apparently there's not enough methane to do the water atmospheric recomposition. That's fine. There's enough water on this map. We wouldn't need to do it anyway. I was wondering if this was one of the few planets where we'd be able to do methane synthesis or water atmospheric, and I think the answer is still no. But yeah. Military is going to pick up high velocity, and then we're going to swap it over to discovery, primarily to find RPG, rocketry, combat, and Gauss. Although I wouldn't be opposed to radiation filters, skin or side skirts. We want to get deeper in the tree. It's probably the best way to think about it. Although maybe don't need to go. Although automation is always really nice. We don't need to dash to automation as much as we need to dash to metal soil filtration. And stuff's moving down here. And I don't think I have the strategics to, or the logistics to necessarily push the stuff. And the stuff I'd really be pushing would be the professional troops, which are not on the road right now. Okay, so I think we, unless we got good strategy cards we want to play, I think we're going to cycle the turn. We can increase the sales tax. Let's do that. Sales tax is something you can be a little bit more aggressive with over income tax. Income tax they'll complain a lot about. Sales tax they usually want. Although sales tax, if you are very aggressive with it, tends to be nothing, 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 tons, nothing, 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 which is maybe not always the sort of taxation you want. And I do have a decent amount of money. Let's try to boost you over 40.
Sir, yes, sir.
At a critical success. I did put them over 40, so we can see what the difficulty is going to be with trying to establish a trade with them next turn. We got all that garrison. Don't think there was any prospecting opportunities. No. And there was a slight delay on the power plant and the truck station, which is a bit of a shame. That's why we needed to not sell any industry. So we're looking at 3 turns. Even if they continue at 91%, they'll finish in 3 turns at this point. So. Okay, let's second the turn. We got our upcoming plans. Let's see if we can implement them. And I suppose sealed road would help with implementation, but no sealed roads for us yet. I suppose I could probably get rail going as well. Okay, round 59, we have 4 decisions. Ew, Galactic Rival Ring Mail is real nice. Simple technique to reinforce low-tech armor. Another archaeological effort, okay. New auction, which we're probably going to min bid if we bid on it. You want government profile to go up. I don't really want government profile to go up. It's actually better at suppressing enforcement than commerce. And then the zone decision.
Yes, sir.
Just mind, that's fine. Then, yeah, I think... Well, I can sell some stuff. Is that all our metal? That isn't all our metal, although the metal is down at the moment, so maybe that's not what we want to be selling. We'll do the rare earth metals.
Aye, aye, sir.
And that gives me enough that I'm not absolutely paranoid about doing the min bid. We'll do the min bid. I'm gonna say no.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the armored vehicles have arrived. They're gonna want 1 turn to be sort of ready. And yeah, that is a tank unit. Okay, so if you bring in the armored vehicles, it's not looking too bad. So yeah, punching through is not going to be too bad. There are some pretty big guys in our way. Constance, I don't think, is lying about that. Let's get to an appropriate zoom level for rapid. Nope, that's all I'm going to get for strategic reach 1. I got to push 1 to the front. Okay, yeah, that's still an argument for expanding. Expanding the logistics. Okay.
Affirmative.
Okay, let's look at the odds to get trade. And yeah, that's not doable. So the people we've got for, or the people we know about as majors on this planet are not willing to negotiate. We got the fate points, so let's take the ring mail.
Yes, sir.
Are we still designing the infantry? Because that might apply to the new infantry if the infantry isn't done being designed. So yeah, that might apply to those guys. Because I don't think it retroactively applies. I think you have to have the unit designed with it. And obviously that is definitely something that is better early. Militech armor will improve to 75% Enviro, 50% padded, 25% combat. Next upgrade after the current one is combat, so it will still affect those as well. And then we're going to do another archaeological effort.
Yes.
No dice. Militancy is basically gone in that zone. Militancy is basically gone in this zone. Militancy is decent here, although it is declining because it's the wrong culture. I think that's what's going on there. Good buffet here. We'll roll the buffet here. Strat card, militia enthusiasm. Probably going to fail, but this is a way to train leadership as well. Buffed it a little bit. And then scrap mode. We haven't collected any scrap yet, so cards haven't been overflowing and they've been discarded. You know, I don't mind scrapping these cards. Political aid truck will actually try to distribute some of these.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I think that's what we're going to do for the turn. Again, construction-wise... Oh, construction slowed down even more. Oh, because we ran out of metal. I'm trying to build faster than our metal is being produced. It's annoying, but realistic. Okay. I looked at the industry when like, I need these things, and didn't look at the metal state. Not making metal fast enough. And metal's so expensive it's not worth buying. Okay. So we're just going to struggle with those being slow to build. Fair enough. So Adam's range Imperium, round 60. We got 7 citizens away us. Failed that promise. Yeah, that was kind of expected. Rifle 3 did complete. High velocity guns completed. We got another archaeological effort. Didn't win the auctions. Okay, so we got our money back on that at least. You'd like us to take a candidate? We'll accept. You want BP production to increase? I do as well. That is 10 turns. So the struggle there is I don't have the metal. I'm going to agree to it.
Yes,
Probably going to
sir.
fail it,
Roger
and then
that,
I'm going to...
sir.
Our word score is going to get worse. But... Okay, here we're no target. We're past gas, power machine, small arms.
Yes, sir.
Not going to bother with that. There is an argument to do the high-velocity guns. Let's check quickly if the new model of infantry got the chainmail. Yes, it got the ringmail bonus, so 50% extra armor strength. That's real nice. Okay, so let's do the machine guns. They can get the bonus as well. Jump from machine gun to high-speed machine guns, so tripling the firepower on the machine gunners. And this is going to be more than a doubling on the armor, because we're also going to get the ringmail effect, which is plus 50%. So it's a 100% bonus plus another additional 50%, so...
Order received.
Real good. We don't want the danger, so we're going to take the corporation choice. They're offering to buy population. 20,000 people? No.
Affirmative.
Yeah,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
let the elder keep position. Okay. Yeah, those are progressing slower than we probably want them to. There's no metal in the market, so even if I wanted to buy metal, that's not an option.
Affirmative.
It was 20,000 from... Durbridge doesn't even have that many people. Definitely no. Okay. Okay, cards, leaders. We did get the Metal Merit and a Silver Retirement. Definitely not going to be paying out the Silver Retirement anytime soon. The Metal Merit will play on the Governor of you.
Roger that.
That should actually buff the yields that we're getting from the mine here, because the Governor likes us more. Okay, that's our strategic movement for the moment. I think we've got the important equipment here for the first attack of the front. I've brought more in... I don't have one armored vehicle. I should have 2 armored vehicles. Because it's a marsh. The bigger vehicle can't attack into the marsh. That's fair. Okay, that makes sense. It's not. It doesn't get cold enough down here to freeze, so we're gonna have to do the attack and push them back without the heavier vehicle.
Okie dokie.
Okay, there we go.
Let's go. We need more firepower, sir.
Okay, we didn't manage to get that one surrendered. They may be able to take advantage of the fact, because they can take our territory, but they can't take the all-in territory. They have to get around and reestablish the connection there. Yeah, we don't have enough logistics down there to do mass upgrade. Nor do we have the metal. I need to hold on to what metal we have to get the power plant and this truck station done. Truck station will help the logistics. The power plant will give us power, so we can, as soon as this place is ready to go to Metal Mine 2, we can do the Metal Mine 2 there. Yeah, we're going to keep putting colonists in here. We'll be level 2 in a couple turns.
Yes.
Okay, we know there's none in that zone. So I might want to recheck this zone because I forgot what the status was here. And we do have a new ruin there, so it could be some in here. Not sure if we checked that ruin, but we're like, yeah, we're checking singular ruins. It's not the end of the world if we don't worry too much about it. If we need more oil, more metal is one. I suppose that's one way to get more metal. So I can put up more recycling facilities. Of course, that costs metal. It's got a payout return cycle on it, but that costs more metal. Cycle the turn. So I gotta get metal positive, and then I might, yeah, I think we're gonna start scrapping more scrap locations in the hopes that we get more metal, because that's one way around the metal bottleneck. Now that we've got power, metal then becomes the problem. Okay, watching this intern. If we're likely to have anything spicy happen, it's likely going to be coming from the slavers. There are a lot of slavers in a very small amount of space here. Yeah, we were able to do a break-in, counterattack our units. Our units traded efficiently, but they did not hold. We were driven back. We killed 400 infantry and lost 400 infantry over the intern. It is round 61. We have 4 decisions. We like democracy, so leaders that do not like democracy get punished.
Yes, sir.
Merit, no.
Yes, sir.
Or democracy.
Roger that, sir.
Supreme Council. We're probably at the point where we do want to start pushing more towards political power here. So we'll push you to 70-30.
Roger that.
Industrial accident, you have a full support to mitigate the damage. Critical success, no damage. Cool. Over here, deposit colonists.
Affirmative.
Okay, the extra units did manage to get to the front. Or the replacements managed to get to the front. I'm going to be suspecting we probably don't have logistics to deploy any of the extra guys up faster. Oh, now we can push one to the front. Okay. Do that. And yeah, just the one. Yeah, that metal's definitely slowing us down. That might improve. In fact, it looks like it has. It looks like it's improved 20, which is probably the yield going up the mine here, although that doesn't count for 20 by itself.
Roger that.
Could increase tariffs. Let's actually increase tariffs. I think that's easy enough to do.
Roger that.
There we go. If they don't like us, they can pay tariffs. That's not too bad. I don't need the fate points that badly, though. Could grab another junior. Don't need to. Okay. Yeah, we could do another attack, but we're gonna wait, let our guys recover a little bit from getting shoved back. Yeah, we're definitely straining the supplies going down to the front here. Both sealing the road and expanding the carrying capacity of that road is going to help. The trucks going on the road will help. Yeah, I think we just cycled the turn. We're waiting for these to build. And then waiting for our guys to get to the front. And then probably when our guys get to the front, we're going to be really interested in, say, trying to do rifle 2 to 3. Although that's metal. It's definitely a lot of metal. Right, which is something we can do while we got the construction going on. We'll probably want to reinvest the metal a little bit, maybe more into scrapping. It's the places we know don't have archaeological sites. Instead of doing the upgrades right away. Well, I didn't check how... Well, I suppose I kind of did check. If you were watching, you saw how much better Infantry 3 over the Infantry 2 are. I didn't note that myself, so I'm like, I know it's better. I don't remember by how much. Yeah, as we upgrade from 2 to 3, either by attritionally replacing 2s with 3s as they get destroyed, or finding the time to actually build proper 3 upgrades, we should be less vulnerable to counterattacks. And more capable in the attack as well. Okay, round 62, we have 3 decisions. Still in that time of learning. Got a cabinet retreat, that's not bad. We got the political power, definitely play that this time. Yeah, this balance is fine. We're just going to confirm that balance. Demand that we are war with the person. Question here is, how much do I care about my word score at this point? My word score is terrible, isn't it? 44, right? So if we say yes, we're going to fail this because we're not declaring war in by turn 71. Yeah, I'm going to refuse just because I know I'm not going to go to war with them. Major diplomacy, minor diplomacy, leaving them balanced for the moment.
Sorry.
I'm probably at the point where I could probably focus on major and probably be better. But we're going to hold off. Good draft recruits. I don't think we need to do drafting. We'll do the cabinet treat for the across-the-board improvement on XP and cabinet member approval. Yeah, they're building pretty slow. Actually, the current rate, there's actually 3 more turns left on them, to give you an idea of how slow they're going because of the shortage of metal. Could I buy metal? That would really... that would help. 19's not enough. Even if we were going to buy it, the 19's not enough. Yeah, that's a pretty good exchange ratio.
Going in.
Nope.
Okie dokie.
Caleb Veda is dead. That's, HQ. Did the Supreme... I think the Supreme Commander came and got himself killed. All the commanders to get killed. Yep. SHQ commander is dead. Not the field commanders who are supposed to be on the front lines. No, the SHQ commander is dead. May the next SHQ commander be less brave, so he lives longer. So we'll be replacing someone next turn. I suppose this means this is a good time to say Nation Merc.
Roger that.
So we have someone who's good at leading troops to put in the SHQ. Personnel. Otherwise, we would only had cap 2 people. Although Merc is a cap 1. I think that's the Merc. Yeah, because the Merc would be the one who didn't have any... Oh no, that might be the Merc. Yeah, that looks like the Merc. You're probably the Merc. No high command experience, so also terrible at mercing, or terrible at commanding. Okay. Operational command is different than high command. Well, there is some cross-training that you get with operational command, I suppose. So, could be worse. Yeah, these guys are all operational command learned. Yeah, they're all like cap 2 as well, so... Yeah, probably just put the new Merc in charge. We'll see who gets suggested on the next turn. And then colonist here.
Affirmative.
And yeah, we can't expand the mine until the zone's level 2. And then we're eating, well, and we're eating too much metal really to expand the mine, even though that was an option. Okay, we got our replacements recruited. Let's cycle the turn. I should probably double check the ammo state. Might need to delay the construction more just to get some ammo. Okay, round 63. We had no fighting over the end turn. We have 6 decisions awaiting us. We did complete the research and ammunition factory, which is something we probably do want. It's going to make the ammo a lot more efficient to build, but we need metal. Prospecting, although that needs something to find. Mission possible might be something worth rolling. 0 retirement is worth rolling. You want a subsidy? I'm going to say
Sir,
no.
yes, sir.
Roger that.
Let's do solar energy here.
Yes.
I actually have the rare earth metals to do some solar plants, so I'm not opposed to that at the moment.
Yes,
No,
sir. Roger
both
that,
one
sir.
enforcement, and we need the industry. Well, we actually don't need the industry right now. Right now we need metal, but I'm not going to be able to turn the money into metal either, so we're just going to tell them no. Your camp 2, reasonable capacity to do the job. Your camp 1, actually, what I can do is you in particular. We're going to try to get you to retire.
Roger that.
It failed. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You can have the job. We're looking at 2 turns out for this. Put the armored vehicle over there, push you over there. Mostly bringing the militia in for reconnaissance. It's their reconnaissance value. Yeah, we'll attack next turn. Yeah, we'll attack next turn. Colonists. Deploy colonists.
Affirmative.
3 more turns, and we can probably upgrade the zone, which then means if we've got the metal, we can upgrade the mine. Of course, that'll be around about the time when these are actually done, and we'll have metal to spare on construction projects. Well, that's one way to train him. So we just roll it and see if he succeeds or fails. We're probably going to pass on the income tax here. Do I? No. We're seeing a couple zones with debt. I'm going to hold off the income tax until I've got the card to drop it in case I need to turn around and immediately just drop it. We want the democracy, but we don't want the democracy that hard.
Roger that.
Critical failures, so no. Just spent a bunch of political power and got nothing for it. Capital-wise... Yeah, I'm going to drop the excess recruits here, so we stop feeding them mostly.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Into the capital. The capital's not going to complain about another 5,000 local population. Yeah, food's up, water's up, petrol's up. We're out of bullets. I need to make bullets. You know what? We'll just accept those things are getting delayed.
Yes, sir.
The whole turn, and we're going to make as many bullets as we can. Oh, I suppose because I told them not to research anything, they automatically swapped to discovery on it. Okay. So we're just waiting for stuff to discover in the military council. Cycle the turn. And we don't necessarily know how many slavers there are. That might just be the entire group of slavers here on the border. And if that is, once we get rid of them, then obviously the zone just turns into an online zone. It'll be easier to roll through. Okay, round 64, we got 4 decisions. An archaeological effort, efficiency drive, so that's one way to make money. I think that's the money one, yeah. Cabinet trait's not bad. Now we have the drop income tax, so I can take the roll with the sort of take the guilt-free roll here. First decision, discipline the leader. I want the staff council, but I don't really got the political power right now. Or, not the political, I don't have the admin power right now,
Yes,
so I'm gonna say
sir.
no.
Yes, sir.
Offering to buy IP. We'll give it to them. We got a lot of IP. They're not even asking for that much in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so even though I turned everything into bullets, these still proceed at decent speed. They should be done next turn if I don't spend every last metal building stuff, building bullets. This is another fight where we've got enough people here that we could overstack the fight. We're going to intentionally try not to do that. That's about as high as we're going to get without overstacking. Let's unleash the punishment here.
Okie dokie.
We lost 7 subunits to 8. So this is not actually a very good exchange ratio. But it was enough to get them out of the hex. We could do a follow-up attack here with some of the units, and actually, that's not a bad idea. We'll do the follow-up attack. Again, this is another situation where we could probably overstack if we were not careful. Although here it's a little bit harder. Oh no, we can just about fill the stack up, which we will do.
Grievance free.
Mission success.
That was a better exchange. We took no casualties. Some of our units suffered some morale crisis situations, but we killed 6. That acquires us a new ruin. Probably take a turn off attacking. I'll move this tank, and then we'll pick on the sort of salient here. Also gives us time to move the road up and stuff. Okay. Not a bad turn. Probably went through a bunch of ammo, which I might regret next turn, but for the moment, not a bad turn. I'm not really doing any diplomacy with the majors because they're not interested in it. Increasing attacks.
Roger that.
To give us more money. We got the decrease if we need to. We can do an efficiency drive. Which earns us a bunch of money. So we actually got a good stockpile of money right now. Cabinet retreat. Failure, but it does raise opinion anyway. It's not a critical failure, so it was better than nothing. Archaeological effort. I'm going to do this zone.
Yes.
Okay, so at this point we know none in this zone, none in this zone. Those zones aren't expanding, so we don't need to check them yet. And we know there's none in here that we haven't checked since we acquired that ruin and that ruin. So there could be some in the capital zone. It'll be worth checking the capital zone again. If we get another one, we'll check here, rule out that one ruin, and then we'll start rolling on the capital zone. Prospecting-wise, we think there is some oil in the capital. Probably right next to the front lines, because that's almost certainly where it would be. We got just enough little power to check, so we'll take the roll. And yes, we did find it. Yeah, right on the front lines. Better oil well than the previous one, so once we secure that area, this is gonna be a good place for, say, put like a city here. 3 out from both of them. Real good place for basically an oil well town. Wouldn't even be a terrible place. Set it up here, make that like the port city, or maybe you just put the port city there and make it a port city. Port city with oil wells. Well, actually, that makes sense for a westward port city. Yeah, but either way, we're gonna expand more out first. That's the political power. Political power, industry. We'll cycle the turn. Oh, I forgot to drop the colonist in the colonist location. Whoops. Oh, hello, Hoffman. Sorry, I'm not the best at checking the chat when people haven't been actively chatting recently. But yeah. Hello, I hope you're having a good night. Also, with the more income tax, I should be able to afford more workers, so running more scavenging places is not going to be a terrible plan. I think the only concern with maybe doing that is they do cost machine parts, and our easy source of machine parts, which was buying it from the scavengers, is gone, because we've inherited the scavengers at this point. Although I think it's like 1 or 2 machine parts per scavenge location, so that's not too bad. Okay, round 65, we got 9 decisions, so lots of choices this turn. The Horror Xenobite, yeah, that sounds like a crisis. Still a time of learning. We've completed the Whirlwind 2. We've discovered Gauss Small Arms, so that's probably one of the choices. Do you want that as your research target? Archaeological effort. Okay. You want extra funds. We got the money,
Yes,
so
sir.
have the funds. You want a stick of action cannon? We will.
That, sir.
He might get a retirement at some point, but we'll take him. We have Galactic Republic Train Mill, so right now we can basically upgrade the bazooka. It's not going to be a And yeah, we're going to build upon the existing one. It's not going to be an upgrade in firepower, but it's an upgrade in armor. So it's not just a doubling, it's actually like a 150% increase on armor. Because of the chainmail effect. Horribite! We give you all the political power to mitigate that. Was a success, although it still hurts. CEO has an emergency. We will help you because we don't like danger. You want to buy population.
Yes, sir. Roger
No.
that, sir.
You want to buy population.
I'm on it.
No. You want to buy IP. That's a little bit more tempting because I don't need the IP. So I could definitely say yes to both of these and just cash in on the money here. In fact, that's what I'll do. I'm gonna say yes to these so we can cash in on the money.
Sir. Affirmative.
Okay, construction's finished. Good to see. Colonize population.
Affirmative.
Yeah, and because of danger events, that isn't quite enough to get you up to size for what we want. Okay, so I want to scavenge this ruins. So it's 100 metal over 2 rounds. We currently have, or no, 100 metal, 50 a round, so it'll spend 102 rounds. It's 50 a turn. We've got 100 now, so I should be able to at least afford to do 1. Might have enough income that we can technically do 2. So I want 1 there, and I want 1 there. So I'm gonna risk trying to do 2 at once. Yeah, we're gonna risk trying to do 2 at once. And I think all the bullets got shipped to the front, so shouldn't be any bullet problems at the front. Although the bullets are looking pretty bad, but should be fine there. And then I don't get a lot of political power. Although we will try the archaeological effort.
Yes.
No dice. Okay. And then, do we have any retirement cards? Just the silver one, which I don't want to pay for. Well, we've got the money, I could pay for it at this point, but no. Don't hold on that political power. I think bronze is the cheapest in political power. No retirement is more politically power expensive than bronze, but obviously costs no money. Silver is a little bit more expensive than bronze, and because you're paying a bigger retirement, it's a little bit more expensive political power wise. And then gold, I think, is the best at getting people to retire, and is more expensive than everything. Okay, watching the intern to see if anything interesting happens. We could technically see some of the amphibious guys come ashore. I got one on an undefended shore there, for example. I could happily sail up into the marshes. Okay, back around to us. It's round 66. We've actually got fewer decisions this turn, just 2. Mining hit 3, industry hit 5, or brigade assets hit 5. What am I mining? We obviously got your mine. Your 1 level of mine. I guess those count as mines. Yeah, that would make it sense with it being 2. And we're building effectively 4, so this is an easy pick. Minor worker strike. I did not see a military research in the last one. Yeah, no. So, research.
Yes, sir.
Small arms. Oh, and metal's still uptrending, so that's definitely on the up and up. Okay. Workshop, make me 62 metal worth of ammo.
Yes, sir.
That leaves us the 100 metal that in theory we need to finish both the recycling facilities, so that'll be good. Let's go here.
Affirmative.
Maybe next turn we'll have enough in there that we'll have it leveling up to 2. So let's expand the metal mine. And then we are going to attack this turn. Armored vehicles obviously go into the attack. Send the professional troops in first. And then we don't want to overstack. But we got up to 150, so we should bring in units until we're close to that. Okay, that is overstacking, so I need to leave something off to not be overstacked. Yeah, we'll do that.
See you on the other side. Okie dokie.
And we could technically do a follow-up attack. So we'd actually have some professional troops coming from a different hex, so this wouldn't be too much of a struggle. Yeah, that's not looking like it's too much of a struggle. Okay.
Going in. All clear, sir.
Then we attack there probably next turn. And again, the goal here is to trit and deplete the slaving army forces. At this point, they might have all their forces on the front line. I would not be surprised if that's the case. Stretch the dirt road a bit. And yeah, the progress being made at this point is a little on the slow side. I'll get another should pull from there. We'll do that. No, we're up to full militancy. Here, that's nice. I wonder what's keeping your... Although it could be quality life. I wouldn't be surprised if it's quality life. Suppressing the militancy. High Cass. Maybe we have High Cass... Well, High Cass there and High Cass here. But yeah, High Cass apparently isn't lowering this militancy. Militancy is something that I am definitely... There's things that the game doesn't really explain particularly well with it, and it's hard to keep up when you want to keep it up. There are ways to do it, and I think we're basically doing the ways to do it. But... Yes, we just assigned something there. We're working on solar energy there, which isn't a poor plan. Zuka model is not going to be a terrible thing to do. Construction, everything proceeds at speed, so they should complete over the next turn. Nothing to discover. And then victory-wise, here at the middle of the stream, we are in third. We were actually, I think, starting the stream at fifth. So we're on the podium. We're trying to get into second. We're not far off from second. We're beating them in population, but we're behind on the planet, and the planet expansion is going a little slow at the moment. First is going to be a little bit of a hard thing to do, but we shall see. Let's go ahead and probably cycle the turn. Maybe just try for some more money. Actually, take the increase in these taxes as well. Yeah, we're going to cycle the turn here. When this end turn comes to a completion, we are going to put a part break in. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow, where we continue to fight the slavers. We're making progress. We're definitely no longer waiting for units to arrive. We've got the units there. Oh, I forgot to recruit replacements. That'll be fine. We'll do that next turn. We'll give the units a turn to rest after that successful attack. But yeah, if you're watching on... Ooh, airstrike. So we can tell that the majors are fighting each other, because one of the majors just got airstruck. I don't know who's fighting who, but they're fighting. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, this is the middle of the stream where I go make a new cup of tea. So we'll be back and continue streaming another 2 parts for about another 2 hours once the tea is made. I suppose that also tells us how far behind in tech we are. If the AI already has air combat units to do attacks with. Although, wait, but that... well, it's probably the military guy. The military guy is probably bombing the theocrat. So the theocrats, I think, are the biggest, and the military is the second biggest. So we've only just sort of reached size parity with the second biggest. So it's going to take us a while to catch up in technology. And we're not in the realm where we couldn't be running propellers either. If we'd left military on Discovery for a bit longer, we could technically discover the propeller engine already. So I suppose it's not that far-fetched that they're on planes and we're not, but we'll be picking up with that on the next part. So if you're watching on YouTube, part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I hope you enjoy YouTube's or a Twitch chat saying no tea for you. Well, I'm gonna go make new tea. Although part of the problem, which is why I'm gonna make new tea, is there is no tea in my teacup, so I need to go make tea. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.